In an era where automotive interior design is increasingly dominated by cold, flat glass panels and haptic feedback that feels more like a vibrating smartphone than a mechanical machine, it is perhaps no surprise that the internet has suddenly fallen back in love with the analog magic of the 1950s. Recently, a viral video showcasing the intricate and deeply satisfying tactile features of a 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air has been racking up millions of views across platforms like TikTok and Instagram, sparking a massive conversation about what we have lost in the transition to the digital age. This car, often cited as the quintessential American classic, is reminding a new generation of enthusiasts that luxury and innovation were once measured by the weight of a chrome switch and the cleverness of a hidden lever rather than the processing speed of an infotainment chip. The 1957 Chevy Bel Air is more than just a car. It is a rolling time capsule of the jet age, a period when designers were obsessed with the aesthetics of flight and the promise of a high-tech future. However, unlike today's high-tech, which is often invisible and buried in software menus, the technology of 1957 was physical, mechanical, and incredibly satisfying to interact with. The viral video that has captured the world's attention highlights the sensory experience of simply being inside and around the car. It begins with the sound of the door, a heavy, resonant thud of high-gauge American steel that modern safety-engineered doors, with their lightweight alloys and plastic dampeners, simply cannot replicate. In the 50s, a door didn't just close, it sealed with a sense of permanence. One of the most celebrated features in the viral footage is the famous hidden fuel filler cap. To a modern observer used to a prominent plastic flap on the side of their SUV, the Bel Air solution feels like something out of a James Bond film. On the driver's side rear fin, a small piece of chrome trim acts as a secret latch. When manipulated, the entire left taillight assembly hinges upward or outward to reveal the gas cap hidden beneath. It is a piece of engineering theater that serves no purpose other than to maintain the clean, uninterrupted lines of the iconic chrome fins. It is this dedication to style and the surprise and delight factor that modern cars, governed by strict aerodynamic efficiency and cost-cutting measures, often lack. Moving into the cabin, the video focuses on the dashboard, which is a cathedral of chrome and painted steel. In 2025, we are used to swiping and tapping, but the 1957 Chevy Bel Air demands that you pull, twist, and click. The HVAC controls are managed by heavy-duty metal sliders that move with a deliberate mechanical resistance. There is a physical connection between the driver's hand and the door that opens the heater vent. The light switches are solid metal knobs that pull out with a distinct audible two-stage click. For a generation raised on touchscreens, this tactile feedback is almost therapeutic, a form of automotive ASMR that emphasizes the reality of the machine. The gauges themselves are framed in deep chrome cowls, looking more like the instruments of a vintage fighter jet than a family sedan. The viral fascination also extends to the vacuum-operated features of the era. While modern wipers are driven by precise electric motors, the 1957 Chevy's wipers had a personality of their own, often slowing down as the engine labored under heavy acceleration. The radio, too, is a highlight, featuring mechanical presets that require a firm push to physically move the tuner needle across the dial. Even the ignition sequence is a ritual, inserting a small, simple metal key into a chrome bezeled lock and feeling the mechanical tumbler turn is a far cry from the sterile experience of pushing a plastic start button or simply walking near a car with a proximity fob. Automotive historians and social media commentators alike are pointing out that the Bel Air represents a peak in tactile ergonomics. Every control was designed to be operated by feel, allowing the driver to keep their eyes on the road. You didn't need to look at a submenu to adjust the volume or change the fan speed. You simply reached for the heavy knob you knew was there and felt the physical detents. This is a point of contention in the modern automotive world, as safety experts raise concerns about the distraction caused by complex touch interfaces. The 1957 Chevy is, ironically, being held up as a model of user-friendly design in a world that has become overly complicated. Furthermore, the video highlights the material quality of the Tri-5 Chevrolets. The 1957 model was the pinnacle of this 3-year run, and it shows in the details.
The turquoise and India ivory color schemes, the patterned cloth inserts on the bench seats, and the expansive use of real metal trim instead of silver-painted plastic create an environment that feels premium in a way that is grounded in durability. There is a sense of built to last that resonates with modern viewers who are increasingly frustrated by the planned obsolescence of modern consumer goods. When you flip the sun visor or turn the window crank on a 57 Bel Air, you are interacting with parts that were designed to function for decades, and many of them still do, 65 years later. The cultural impact of this viral trend is significant because it bridges the gap between different generations of car lovers. Boomers and Gen Xers are experiencing nostalgia for the cars of their youth or their parents' youth, while Gen Z and millennials are discovering these features for the first time, viewing them as a new and cool alternative to the digital status quo. This has led to an increased interest in classic car restoration and a growing movement among modern car designers to bring back physical buttons and knobs. Companies like Mazda and even some European luxury brands have started to pivot back toward tactile controls, citing the exact reasons why the 1957 Chevy Bel Air video went viral: safety, satisfaction, and ease of use. As we look at the legacy of the 1957 Chevrolet Bel Air through the lens of a 2025 viral video, it becomes clear that the car's enduring popularity isn't just about the fins or the small block V8. It's about the way the car makes the human being at the wheel feel. It treats the driver as a participant in a mechanical ballet, where every action has a physical reaction. The tactile features of the 1957 Bel Air are a reminder that a car can be more than just a tool for transportation. It can be a sensory masterpiece. Whether it's the secret gas cap, the clicking chrome knobs, or the heavy swing of the door, the 1957 Chevy remains the gold standard for automotive soul. As long as we continue to move towards an increasingly digital and automated future, we will likely continue to look back at cars like the 57 Bel Air with a sense of wonder, appreciating the time when the most high-tech thing on the road was a perfectly weighted piece of chrome.